Good evening, coaches. Welcome to the New Age Power Eye offense for the youth level. Um, basically, I started kind of thinking back over all the decades that I've coached, and was reminded that a lot of the championships that I've been fortunate enough to be involved in, I was running some form of the I principles, and I've been one to dabble with a lot of different offenses over all that time. So I kind of figured, what's old is new, and since I'm a Mustang fan, I'm very happy that what's old is new comes back around. But like I said, I've been very fortunate to be involved in a lot of really good teams with a lot of really great coaches. And thinking back over all of that, it was a lot of I formation principles. But this whole presentation here can apply to pretty much any offense. I started kind of dabbling in the direction that I'm going right now about 10 years ago with different ideas and different systems and whatnot, and this whole process here will apply to just about anything. And if you have any questions at the end, if you can just kind of note a page number, I can answer questions after the film runs, or you can email me. The email is at the top right-hand corner of every slide. Basically, about a dozen years ago or so, I started getting into this Lego offense philosophy where I could build play calls through verbiage, and if I had a good blueprint, I could take a pile of pieces and I could make something really pretty out of it. And I've been able to do that with the flex bone. I only ran that one season, and I certainly didn't follow the purist philosophy. I did all kinds of things on my own through the Lego philosophy. Wing T, double wing, and your ace formations and whatnot. The problem is that the play calls got kind of wordy, and I've dabbled in the no huddle, and I've dabbled with the huddling. And when you huddle up and have a Lego offensive philosophy, you end up with a lot of play calls. So it's hard to get them all on the wrist coach because there's a lot of options. And so I started dabbling with this new philosophy about the check with me system. And do I huddle, not huddle? Right now we're muddle huddling, and that philosophy kind of brought me to the Tiger Ellison way of things. Is like when I started getting into this with the kids, they were just basically playing some organized schoolyard football. And when I was in high school, I played under the Tiger Ellison system, and that was in the early 70s, and that always really stuck with me. So basically I took the I formation for this presentation. Like I said, it'll fit with just about anything really. And in the I formation you have your typical play design, your typical play calls. This would be a heavy right 36 ISO, 3 back to the 6 hole, running ISO. Your fullback runs ISO. If you're running the power I, your wingback's running ISO. Get a couple of double teams at the point of attack at the first level. Your tight end kicks out, and everybody runs isolation to a linebacker. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Then you have your sucker trap, and that's usually off of your ISO design. And basically, the sucker traps are great plays where the fullback takes a jab step and goes in behind a pulling guard and running trap to the A or B gap. So it's very typical I formation type design. Then when you run the power I, a heavy formation, you have your tight wing back. So you can run counters with power, with your fullback leading, your tailback leading. It's a great play. You can pull one guard, two guard, tackle. Pretty straightforward there. So I started kind of playing around with this because about 8 years ago I ran the spread eye, and I ran a lot of zone blocking, and it was okay. Prior to that, ran a lot of oil rules, and that was okay once again. But I wanted to simplify things, and I started kind of playing around with the whole numbering system. Initially, I would number the lineman, and that lineman was a blocking rule, like the guards would be a trap, and the tackles would be an off tackle play, and the tight ends would be a sweep type play. And I kind of like that because it was easy for the kids to remember and retain, especially running no huddle, where I'm not an advocate of putting risk coaches on all of them. I've tried that before too. It's just too much maintenance for me. So to run a no huddle and helping out with the memory and whatnot, I was trying to simplify things. So about 2 years ago, I get an email from one of the guys on Dumb Coach Forum, Michael, and he had some video of running mega splits. And at the time, I was running foot to foot with fourth graders. So I tried it out with our empty formation, and I really liked it. And then continued to dabble with it that following spring, and then again last fall, and then again last spring. So basically, what I did is I pushed out the splits as much as I could.